Hello, all. How are you doing? Let's see if you can hear me before we get too far into this. Can you hear? Yes, I know. It's 3:02. I'm 2 minutes late. Yay! You can hear me. Good. Okay, so what do you think of some of these live streams we're having lately? Did you enjoy hearing DB, who is our sound engineer, stream about the melee combat sounds? I enjoyed that very much, I have to say myself. You still love me? Nice, nice. Okay, yes, we are going to have a video and then we're going to have a Q&A with Mark. So hang on for the video and then afterwards we'll have the Q&A. So here we go.
Greetings all. As always, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, everyone. Today's update is the one that I've been promising for a few weeks regarding the status of beta testing for Camelot Unchained. So, before we begin, I'm going to ask Genesee and Max to turn comments off in the Twitch stream. The reason for that will be more apparent than you probably think it is right now, but I need to explain that. And the other thing is, this is a recorded update. I will be on for a live Q&A afterwards, but for reasons, once again, that'll become apparent, this needed to be recorded, and it needed to be recorded first. So, where to begin? Last month I did an update in which kind of focused on two things. One, of course, was my wife's surgery, but the second, and obviously just as important to you backers, was the hiring of a senior programmer who was going to come to join us. We were pretty excited about that. And after many months of not only searching for the right guy, but negotiations, we thought we had the right guy. And on Monday, when I did the update, I spoke to him. Everything was great. Monday evening, after the update, I spoke to him. Everything was great. On Tuesday, obviously, that was surgery day for my wife. So I really wasn't, as you can imagine, in touch with what was going on here during the day. But from what I heard, everything was fine. By Wednesday afternoon, I received an email from the programmer, Kevin, that said that he had received an offer that he just couldn't turn down. One of those offers that come along, once in a lifetime. Well, as you can imagine, I was a bit perturbed, upset, disappointed, mad. And instead of being at home with Janet, I came into the office to talk about it with the team and to talk with our attorney about it. And that led to many weeks of discussions with our lawyers, discussions internally about what effect this was going to have on the game. And frankly, the time is now to talk to you guys about it. So, first thing, and here's the reason why I've asked for the comments to be turned off. I am not going to throw him under the bus. I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus. That isn't how we do things. So please, when comments are turned back on, which they will be shortly, please don't ask any questions about him, about the situation. Don't say anything mean. Just stay away from the subject. Because I can't talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it anymore other than what I've said. It is disappointing. It hurts. It was a shock to us, as you can imagine, especially since that Monday I talked to him before I did the update and even got text from him. So this was kind of a surprise. Now, the bad news for us, and this is where it really hurts, is we knew that it was going to be tight for beta. We had talked about it on the forums. I've put in every update where we've talked about hiring, that it's still going slower. But we thought with somebody as talented as he is, that we would have a much better shot at it. Was it 50-50? Was it 60-40? Don't even know. But we were absolutely going to have a shot at making beta. Right now, frankly, I can't say with a straight face that we have any shot of making beta at the end of August, even if we stretch it out to the end of August. So rather than, try to call a fake beta and say, hey, we've made progress and so now we're in beta, or, keep you guys waiting for another 6 weeks, it's time to tell you now that we are going to delay beta. And that is the right decision to make. It was the right decision when we delayed alpha. It's the right decision to make now. There really isn't any good choice. Like I said, I am not going to call a fake beta for you guys just so we hit that deadline. That would be BS. So, for all intents and purposes, beta will be delayed. Now, that's the bad news. Let's get to the good news. Let's start with the most obvious good news. You guys have seen the progress we've been making. We are very happy with that, as you know. Whether it's what Rob has been doing with building destruction, what Andrew is doing with terrain, what the rest of the team is doing with getting things in like our new animation system, getting in other things as well to make, quite frankly, the engine feel more like a game. That all couldn't be going better. So we are very happy with that. Second bit of good news. As I said during Alpha, and I get to say it again, also with a straight face, which is great, we're still on budget. We're still below budget because, after all, we didn't have to pay for the programmer who's no longer with us. And we also didn't go on a hiring spree at that time. So, money, still good. Plenty of it. Now, the really good news. So over the last few weeks, we've added to the team. And we've added to the team in one very significant way to start. This week, we signed another senior programmer. This gentleman is on the network side of things. He is not the client graphic guy we were looking for, but we had 2 open slots, and our new programmer fills one of them. Maybe I'm going to be a little bit more superstitious this time and not say anything until he's actually in the studio as opposed to working remotely. And I'm going to do that. But the good news with him is that he thinks so much of what we're doing and how we're doing it that instead of being a remote programmer, which is how the hiring rec went out there, he is moving here as soon as possible. So he will be joining the studio hopefully by the end of the first week in September. He is a very talented and experienced programmer. We are very much looking forward to having him here. So that's great. We've also added a new character artist. He started this week. We're going to introduce him probably in 2 weeks, along with some of his work, so you can see why we've hired him. We also have another artist who is visiting us actually as I'm recording this, who will start with us in another 2 weeks. And Chris, who you've seen some of his work already, continues to turn out very good work for us. So, on the hiring front, things are going very well. And the additional hirings will get us into beta more quickly, I hope, than would be the case otherwise. And that's where we get to the next and final thing, and that is the announcement of the date for beta. We're going to announce the new date for beta in 2 months. Why 2 months? Why not now? Well, frankly, because we've just hired a bunch of new people. And until we actually get them into the studio and see if they're as good as we hope they are, announcing a date now makes no sense. So what we're going to do is, in about 2 months, once we get everyone here and really get them integrated into the team, then we'll be able to give you guys a really good date and a very, nothing is ironclad, but a lot better estimate than I can give now, quite frankly, because I don't know how all the new people are going to perform. It's really that simple. I could give a date, but I don't want to give a date that is longer than it should be. frankly, because then people will worry more. On the other hand, I don't want to give one that's aggressive. And if we can't meet that, well, then I have to do this again. So bear with us another couple of months, and we will definitely have a date for the next phase of testing. So what are we going to do in the meantime? Over the next 6 weeks through July and August, we will continue to have alpha tests. As a matter of fact, we hope to ramp up the alpha tests. We're also going to be talking about classes. That has been a subject that many people, frankly, want to know about, as well you should. And we're going to be going into a lot more detail about that before the end of the summer. We're also going to announce our next stretch goal. If you've been on our forums, you know pretty much what it's going to be and why. Well, it's kind of important to talk about that before we talk about classes. For our beta players who aren't getting into beta as quickly as they hoped, I hope you understand the reasoning, and I hope you agree with us. If you don't, obviously, just as our policy has been to date and remains, if you feel that we've somehow let you down and that delaying beta for the best of intentions somehow is the wrong move, hit us up for a refund. We're still giving them. I'd prefer, obviously, if you didn't, and at least that you would wait until beta begins to decide, but we've said that we're going to give refunds, so we're going to keep giving refunds. As you all know, the dates that we put forward for this game, whether in the Kickstarter or even more recently, were estimated dates. We knew that they were going to be not easy to make, no matter what. We wanted to be realistic, but frankly, it all depended on hiring. You all know that. I've been talking about this nonstop for 2 years. And so the loss of somebody like Kevin, well, that hurts. But it's not all on him. It couldn't be all on him. That would be unfair, and I am never unfair. But when you look at everything that had to go right in order for us to make beta in time, hiring was the biggest, certainly and most challenging aspect of that, and we did not meet our goals. We still haven't met our goals. And unfortunately, part of that, well, that also entails my taking time, Andrew taking time, other people in the studio taking time to go through the whole hiring process. And unfortunately, we're going to have to continue to do that. However, while that's not great news, I'd rather have that be the problem than me coming to you and saying, the reason for our delays, stuff doesn't work. Reason coming to you for the delay, we didn't get anything done. The reason I'm coming to you for the delay, because our shit is just broken. None of that is true. And that's why, as you know, upsetting, unsettling, unhappy, less than satisfactory kind of thing to say of delaying beta, at least it's simply because we just couldn't get enough people in here to get the volume of work done. The quality of the work, that we are very happy with. And frankly, for those of you who have seen us, whether it was the pre-alpha streaming or all the folks who've been in alpha and IT and can see the progress, the stuff we put up on Vine showing our progress, that shows how well things are going. There's a huge difference between having broken and buggy code and just not having enough great code. There's a difference between art assets that frankly suck and not having enough art assets. Our problems, thankfully, are just quantity and not quality. And that's a testimony to the kind of people we hired. And frankly, that is one of the other reasons that hiring takes longer for us. We have seen some really good candidates, but who weren't good enough, especially on the senior end. So it's going to continue to take time, but we're willing to spend the time to get it right. Look, nobody likes to deliver bad news, me least of all. On the other hand, I promised you folks I would always talk to you as I am now, both here on our forums and in other places when bad news had to be delivered. However, it is not all bad news. We set out 2 years ago to create a game that wasn't going to be easy to create. We knew it wasn't going to be easy to create. We told you it wasn't going to be easy to create. We could have taken the easy route by using an engine. We could have taken the easy route by not trying to do the kind of server-side physics we're doing with this game. We could have taken the easy route in so many other directions, and we haven't. We're trying to create something here that was, especially for 2 years ago, pretty unique and still is pretty unique. And that comes at a cost. And I'm not talking about a cost in a monetary sense. I'm not saying, ooh, send us more money. I'm not. The cost is that it's hard to do. And when you're doing and trying to do difficult things, you have to have the right people. And we do have the right people. We just need more of the right people. The stuff that we've been doing here with physics, the stuff we have been doing here with networking, this is really cutting edge stuff, folks. You know, whether you think a tri-realm game with even the air system is unique, okay, we think it is, but the other stuff we're doing is even more unique. And we're going to continue to work on that, and we're going to continue to push forward to not only create something that's fun to play, that in some ways we hope will be genre defining, but more importantly, to do the difficult. That's what we set out to do 2 years ago. That's what we're continuing to set out to do. Yes, it will take a little longer to get to that point. We think it's worth it, and based on everything we've been saying since the Kickstarter began, I know you folks think it's worth it. And as always, and forever, we will thank you for that support, as I do now. And on behalf of the entire team here, thank you. We appreciate, right now especially, your patience. We've always appreciated your support, and the next 2 months are going to be very interesting. I think you're going to like what you see, and I especially, as I talked about earlier, think you're going to like a lot of the information that we're going to be putting forward regarding crafting, classes, and other things. So, as always, again, thank you, and I'll see you in chat in about a minute.